western Hill County there. So this is what we're watching for right now, that new severe thunderstorm warning. This is the same one that we just gave you that live report on CBS News Texas from Walnut Springs from our CBS Texas storm chaser, Jason McLaughlin. So he showed us some baseball-sized hail. He is still on the move right now, driving through, looks like some heavier rain. So this is the hail core that we're looking at, as this is also continuing to push its way east at 30 miles per hour. So we can track that. We're going to give you that leading edge of where the hail is continuing to fall and may fall. So Lakeside Village at 6:39, Live Oak Resorts at 6:54, Blanton at 6:57, and Woodbury about 8 minutes after 7, Peoria about 12 minutes after 7. So if you're in the path of this, please seek shelter right now, or at least stay away from the windows. You don't have a tornado warning with this, but this is the storm that has a history of producing some very large hail. So we're going to zoom down a little bit more, and it looks like the hail core right now is just now with that latest scan coming in, moving right over parts of the Morgan area with golf ball size hail possible with that. So we're going to go ahead and you can see that was the hail detector. There's State Highway 174, County Road 1140, and there's Copperell right there. Here's Lakeside Village. So anywhere along 174 and east of that, we're continuing to just alert you to the fact that we're dealing with this very large hail that is on the way. If we can at some point pop up Jason's GPS on the map there, Aaron. The reason we want to show this to you is that we're going to try to take a shot here relatively soon. So there's Jason McLaughlin. There's Jason McLaughlin. Here was Walnut Springs where he was at. So Jason is on the move. You do have a shot, is that correct? Okay, let's go and take a Jason McLaughlin's shot. And you can see right now, he's driving through a large amount of rain. So that's the other story with these storms too. The really heavy rain that is moving through. So this is Jason McLaughlin's shot right now as he's continuing to track his way out of the Walnut Springs area. But as we come back towards the first alert radar again, you're able to see that, so that's where we were just looking at right there. That's the severe thunderstorm warning, and he's kind of on the southwest side of that. The larger hail core right now, north and east of Morgan, but Jason just saw some very large hail push its way through Walnut Springs. So he's maybe traveling off towards the north and to the northeast. So from there, let's go ahead and turn our attention a little bit further to the south and west. Again, for this tornado warning making its way now. Looks like this inflow notch is now pushing its way into parts of Bosque County. This is what we look at for the potential of some inflow happening as we zoom our way down to that just a little bit more. There's County Road 4125. Here's 4100, here's FM 219. So we're kind of giving you some crossroads there where we might be seeing some of that rotation just a little bit more. We're going to switch it on over to our velocity product. And as we look at that, maybe right near Cranfill's Gap area that we're seeing the potential of some of that rotation happening for us as we will be able to sample some of those winds. So again, the southwest sides there of Bosque County, that's where we're a little bit more concerned. There's 34 mile per hour winds to, I think that was 10 mile per hour winds as we're sampling some of these winds that are popping up. So looking at this, I'm almost wondering, do we have an area of rotation possibly to Cranfill's Gap or further one down to the southwest of it? Two different areas possibly of some rotation showing up for us with this tornado warning that does continue until now about 7 o'clock. So it's something we're to keep our eyes on. This is a little bit more area of a concern, possibly on that southern end of it. There's the latest scan that just came in as you analyze this with us and what we're looking at. So again, looking at the reflectivity here, we look for these small indications there of the potential of, some stronger winds. Now, this is our CBS News Texas strongest winds product. So that's kind of picking up, what was that? Okay, this is where we're seeing some of those strongest winds right now, at least making its way through parts now of Bosque County. So let's go up towards Morgan again real quick if we can. Aaron, zoom our way down just a little bit more because I want to bring in CBS Texas Jason Allen. You are in Morgan right now, Jason. What are you experiencing? There's at least some indication of some larger hail within this storm.
Yeah, Scott, we're just south of Morgan, so we're coming into Meridian. So we would just be a little bit to the east, I think, of of where we've seen possible that hail core with this storm and some of the rotation. This has really been, though, some torrential rain for the last 10 minutes or so as we've been heading south out of that Walnut Springs area where I know Jason McLaughlin was as well. And this is an area that I would say 90 minutes ago we drove through as well, and it got some extremely heavy rain then. There was also some rotation indicated by radar back at that point. We have not seen any hail yet out of this part of the storm. Obviously, back up there in Walnut Springs, there was a ton of hail in town. We can see that there could be another hail core just off to our west. So as we get into Meridian, we may be looking for a spot to settle down as that comes in. But you can just see on our dash cam, and I know it always looks more clear to me when I'm looking at our dash camera video than it really is. It's incredibly dark out here right now. The rain is just coming down in sheets, and this part of the area has really been under this rain for a good portion of the evening, Scott.
All right, Jason, thank you so much. And speaking of that, we were able to bring up our first alert radar rainfall rate, looking like possibly maybe 7 inches of rain an hour. So that might be overdoing it just a bit, but definitely heavy rain falling through where Jason was at. Just there's Morgan. So he was just near Meridian as we were just showing you there. So a lot of heavy rain with this storm. Getting a new update here with the tornado warning remaining in effect until 7 for now northeastern Hamilton, southwestern Bosque counties. Again, this is remaining in effect until 7:30. It's moving east at 35 miles per hour now. It's over Cranfill's Gap. And so that's what we were just analyzing together. So as we're looking at that, let's move the radar down towards Cranfill's Gap. You notice that the tornado warning area has been shaved out on that west side. So here's Cranfill's Gap. This is where we have the tornado warning remaining in effect. That is until 7 o'clock. So that's the area that we're looking at. So as we kind of get that latest scan in and we back the radar up a little bit, let's go ahead and do that again if we can, just to track where we saw some of the strongest winds moving in. So right in this area, we have this tornado warning right over Cranfill's Gap. So where you see these brighter colors that kind of butt up against each other, that's where we're seeing some of that stronger rotation that we've been watching as we've been going through the evening hours. So it is moving east at 35. We'll go ahead and put a track there for you. So if you live in the southwest sides there of Bosque County, that's where we have this tornado warning continuing. We'll give you that track here coming up. And this is the time that you take that precaution. We alerted you to the fact of the strong to possibly severe storms today, and you know what to do. So Norse at 6:50, Crossroads Store at 6:52, Clifton at 7 o'clock, and Pendle about 4 minutes after 7 on this path, if it does hold its strength. So that's what we want to let you know, at least right now, through parts of Bosque County, the southwest sides of Bosque County, also through parts, now we have that severe thunderstorm warning for parts of northeast sides of Bosque County, also moving into Hill County. Aaron, I got to switch up my batteries here real fast. If you could take over for a second. We're going to work on that. Yeah.
My mic is on. Okay, here we go. All right, so we do have, we talked earlier this morning, or we've really been covering this for a while, just talking about the rainfall that we saw earlier today and how that really helped us here in North Texas, limiting our severe weather potential. I mean, just looking at the past 12 hours, you can see where some of the heaviest rain has fallen across parts of the Metroplex, areas a little farther to the north and west. You can see areas to the south and east of the Metroplex and parts of Kaufman County, Van Zant County, picking up just over the last couple of hours over 3 inches of rain alone. And so what that did is it stabilized the atmosphere for us. And now what we're seeing, for us here in North Texas, this is what could have happened. All of these supercells that we have kind of rolling across, tracking east and eventually southeast and central Texas, this was what we were expecting in North Texas earlier today. But because we had the rain earlier this morning through about mid-afternoon, that really just kind of helped to stabilize us. Now we watch these supercells. They were developing out to the west. This is just over the last 3 hours, tracking east and eventually eventually starting to turn to the right. So, we still have to watch along the I-20 corridor and some of our most southern counties, but this is certainly turning into more of an event for central Texas, though we still have the main system, that upper low, moving across the area through tonight. And we've had rumbles of thunder here at the station in Fort Worth. We've got some storms developing in Collin County. You can see up towards Grayson County as well. So storm activity still can occur to the north of I-20, but it's the severe threat for really our southern counties and especially central Texas that I think is going to be an event through the next several hours, Scott.
Yeah, so that's what we've been watching as we've gone through the day today. And this is the potential that we had for a lot of North Texas. So we went through the morning hours. We had all that rain, as Aaron was mentioning, kind of stabilizing the atmosphere a little bit more. Now, we do have some rain through parts of Tarrant County, Dallas County, a little bit in parts of Ellis County. Also seeing a storm that has developed further off towards the north and the east. Near Greenville, hearing some rumbles of thunder. Also through parts there of Rains County, north of Sulphur Springs. None of that severe, really not in that environment for the severe weather to really hold together. Excuse me, further down to the south, that's where we have better dynamics in play, and that's why we're staying here on CBS News Texas to keep you and your family aware of where the storm's at, how fast it's going, when it's going to get there, so you can plan accordingly. So we know that you know your severe weather plan, so we're getting back to that tornado warning that it does continue until 7 o'clock for Bosque County. So we're looking at this, getting some reports, again, of maybe some possible rotation, the rotation has widened out just a little bit more. And as we were looking at it, getting reports also now of the sirens in Clifton activated, going to be activated shortly. So here's Cranfill's Gap. So this is now the area of rotation east of Cranfill's Gap. You see the brighter colors there. We'll sample some of those winds. Again, this is about 8.5 miles to the southwest of Clifton. So outdoor warning sirens alerting you to the fact that we have this severe storm that is moving its way from the west to the east. Let's go ahead and sample some of those winds if we can. And as we do that, you're able to see that some of those winds near 51 miles per hour away from the radar, which is further to the north, and 19 miles per hour towards. So we're kind of getting this rotation at least indicated on our radar. And when you have those reds and the greens closer together, that's when we're a little bit more concerned. So we're keeping our eyes on this area of rotation. There's 60 mile per hour winds to 22. So it could be kind of a broader rotation that's at least happening right here east of the Cranfill's Gap area, might be wrapped in some rain. So this is why we're here on CBS News Texas with the First Alert Radar being able to track this for you. So from that area of rotation, let's go ahead and put a track there for you. And Aaron just drew right there, kind of like that inflow happening there that is towards the northwest of Clifton. So this is the area that we're watching. It is moving to the east, I think at 30 miles per hour. So again, we're tracking this for you so you have time to prepare. North at 6:50, the Clifton area about 7 o'clock for your neighborhood. Coyote about 7:14. Green Knock 7:27, Spivey Crossing at 7:30, Lebanon 7:37. Approximate times of this tornado warned storm indicated by radar. No confirmation of a tornado on the ground. We have our storm chasers that are out there continuing to track the storms for the ground truth. So that's why we're getting some of these latest updates coming in. But at least here we're able to let you know about this tornado warning. Now, as the rotation's a little bit broader, that could be a sign of, I wouldn't say some weakening, but definitely indication that we might be seeing this not tighten up as well. But as we're sampling some of these winds here, we get 51 mile per hour winds towards the radar, about 30 miles per hour away, 36 miles per hour away. So this is that rotation that we're watching still now for parts there of Bosque County. Also now noticing maybe in Hamilton County a little bit stronger winds that are developing down towards the southwest of that. So this will be an area that we need to watch. Those winds about 64 miles per hour to 38. So also seeing another area of rotation maybe developing slightly further to the south. So it's something we'll keep our eyes on. No indication of a tornado warning with that yet. So that's why we're staying with this tornado warning for parts of Bosque County. So Okay, this is what we're continuing watching. We want to go back to Jason Allen, that is in Meridian, giving us an update. Again, Jason, you're there. So a lot of heavy rain falling for you. Any hail with this storm?
No, not yet, Scott. So we're right here in downtown Meridian. So here's the shot. We're hanging out under the overhang at a gas station just because we could see the potential for some of that hail to show up. We haven't seen it yet, but you can see there in the street, it's just some really, really heavy rain that is coming through here. There is a lot of thunder and lightning as well. The power flashed here probably about 2 or 3 minutes ago. So everything went out in town just for a few seconds and then quickly came right back up. So this is a pretty heavy storm. We're kind of staying just to the north of the area of rotation that you were watching down there by Cranfield's Gap, and just kind of stopping down here to see if there is a potential another hail core that comes through this area.
Live in Meridian. Thanks so much for that live report. If you see anything, just let us know. We'll get back to you. So again, there's your live report there from Meridian. Our CBS Storm Chasers out and about helping you tell this story. So here's Meridian right now. A lot of that heavy rain moving its way in just on the border there of that tornado warning, but the threat of those stronger winds further to the south of Meridian. But you can see the rainfall rate, really heavy rain again. So possibly 5 inches of rain per hour, up to maybe 7 inches. It might be overdoing it just a bit, but that's an indication of the really heavy rain that we have in place with some of these storms. So even if there's a tornado within some of these storms, it might be hard to see. Our first alert radar able to estimate the hail size up to possibly the size of a walnut to a ping pong ball southwest of Meridian within the same storm that has that tornado warning with it, $50 size hail as well, right along the line, just a little bit more. I want to move on just for a second to show you that we have that tornado watch. That's all the areas there that's indicated in the areas that are in the yellow. This is through parts of Eastland County. You can't see Erath County, the same areas that we do have the potential of tornadoes within these supercell storms that have developed. So the area has been primed for it. And what's interesting, and I'm showing you these temperatures because all of the temperatures right now are sitting in the 60s, as you can see, they're being reported here. But further to the south, they're warmer. Temperatures in the 80s, where we had some more sunshine through the day. So the reason it was a cooler day today across parts of North Texas was because of that rain this morning. And that's why the severe threat shifted further to the south through today. So you can still see that slight risk to then the enhanced risk of severe weather. Same area where we're seeing these tornado-warned storms riding along that area that's really an enhanced risk for any severe storm. So we'll go ahead and come back to the radar again for Lynx 1. I'll back up on my radar here on my computer here just to show you kind of the dynamics of what's going on in the upper atmosphere. So as we're watching that, this is still the area of concern. Through parts now of Bosque County, Hamilton County kind of out of it. So Bosque County, this tornado warning until 7 o'clock. It's now 6:48. So about 12 more minutes, we have this tornado warning in effect. As we go ahead and back up the radar through the past 30 minutes or so, you can see that right there is where it was a severe thunderstorm warning, but you see this inflow that was happening, this little notch right there. This is when the National Weather Service issued the tornado warning. So this is an indication to us of some winds flowing into this storm. So now that inflow notch not as pronounced. Yeah. And as Aaron was saying there, the storm may be collapsing and kind of bowing out just a little bit more because we're not really seeing that same structure happening. But still, when that happens, really strong winds are possible when we see these storms kind of collapse just a little bit more. So that's what we're looking at least for right now, about 4 miles to the west of Clifton. So this is why we want to just keep you alert to the fact of this strong and severe storm that's moving its way in. There's Highway 219, here's State Highway 6, just seeing some rain right now. The strongest winds and the heaviest rain further back to the west. There's Farm Road 2136, County Road 4145, and 4155. Let's switch over that product if we can to look at the storm winds and look at maybe some of the strongest winds with this. And this is now some of the strongest winds that we've seen, and that might be an indication of the storm collapsing a bit more, but we're seeing some winds. Now we just got that latest scan there. So here's Clifton, some of the stronger winds further down to the southwest, possibly 75-mile-per-hour winds there. So maybe some very strong wind gusts with this. We don't have an indication of a tornado on the ground at all. So we're looking at that a little bit more. There's Crossroads Store and Norse. So this is the area of maybe some of the strongest winds that are happening, but not really seeing a really tight rotation with this. So we're watching this a little bit more and continue to keep in track here on the chat with the National Weather Service. So going to find out. Let's go in. Jason McLaughlin is actually in the Clifton area. When we can get him, let me know if we can talk with him. And we can even pop up his shot when you guys are available. Just let me know and we'll pop that up. So that's one of our CBS News Texas storm chasers, Jason McLaughlin, right there making his way into Clifton. So we'll be able to give you some ground truth of some of the heavier rains and some of the stronger winds that is about to come in to parts of Clifton. And that's where we do have the heavier rain that is holding together. So the stronger winds back to the west, the potential of some of the biggest hail still back to the west, okay? And we are seeing $half size hail to quarter-size hail. Letting you know, we're staying here on CBS News Texas, can continue to give an update, but also don't forget, you can follow all of our continuing coverage on cbstexas.com. We'll be kind of switching over there right around 7 o'clock, but continuing to keep you and your family aware. Hopefully you have the CBS app. You're able to download that and continue to follow our first alert coverage as we're tracking these strong to severe storms with the potential of a tornado in parts of North Texas. So this is what we're looking at right now. Do we have Jason's shot at all? Yes, McLaughlin. If we can, just let me know if you could pop it up. That'd be great. And I'm just talking. All right, let's go and take Jason McLaughlin's shot. So you can see him driving there. Dark skies. He's making his way through Clifton. It looks like he's traveling south, so trying to intercept the area, maybe the stronger rotation with this. It's been a broad rotation that's been happening with the tornado warned storm there in parts of Bosque County. So unsure if they're going to continue to that warning downstream, but as we're looking at that in Jason's shot, so he's headed further to the south. If we can control room at some point, if we could talk to him, that would be great. Just let me know when he's available and we'll take him live. So this is ground truth right now from parts of Bosque County in the Clifton area of our CBS Texas storm chaser, Jason McLaughlin. So dark skies there, not driving through a whole lot of rain yet. He's just on the border of it, of the heavier rain that is moving in. So this is why we're giving you kind of the update here on CBS Texas. So, all right. Thank you very much. All right. So just getting an update from our floor crew here, some production things that we're doing. So they're also going to be going for a flash flood warning for Bosque and Hill counties where the storms have been continuing to run over the same area of land. Some training happening. So on top of us dealing with the tornado warning, on top of us dealing with some of the stronger winds and some larger hail, now dealing with some of the heavier rain. And you notice that again, the flash flood warning is going to be probably for the north sides of Bosque County to their Hill County, where you see the areas in yellow, indicating some of the heaviest rain that has fallen over the past 3 hours from our first alert rain total product. We'll sample some of that, and you can see 2.7 inches of rain, 2.7 again. So anywhere between maybe 2 to 3 inches of rain, maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain has fallen because these storms are running over the same area in that severe thunderstorm warning. So a couple of things that we're continuing to watch as we're going through the evening hours here at 6:53, almost 6:54. So the severe thunderstorm warning continuing for parts of Bosque County. Let me get a time here on that for you. How much for control room? 4 minutes away. Okay, thank you. That is severe thunderstorm warning is moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. If I can get that update there. They canceled it with the one for Bosque County there. Until it's about 7:30. So we're seeing that update there. So tornado warning until 7 o'clock for southwestern sides of Bosque County. Severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30. Northeast sides there of Bosque County also continuing through parts of Hill County as well. So watching this as storms, these storms are continue to hold some intensity. If you live in the south sides of Navarro County, just a strong storm there. No threat of any severe weather. Still watching a tornado warning making its way further down towards down to the south in parts of Limestone County. Let's go ahead and take Jason McLaughlin if we can. Jason, you're right there near Clifton. What are you experiencing as you've been kind of making your way south?
So we had some real heavy rain up north, moving from one cell southward through this one. So kind of coming through Clifton, you just hear the tornado sirens going off. Looking out to my west, you can't quite see it from my camera view. I'm pointing south right now. There is a lowering there. That's roughly probably 2 to 3 miles just west of me, and that is moving off to the east-northeast. I'm trying to get kind of a little bit better visibility area so I can get a clearer picture of exactly what's going on under that lowering.
All right, thanks so much, Jason. We sure appreciate that. To let you know as well that the tornado warning for Bosque County will expire at 7 o'clock, be replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's an indication at least that the storm is kind of maybe dying down just a little bit, but still the potential of some large hail with that and maybe some damaging winds. So this is what we're watching right now. There's where Jason was still traveling its way down to the south. So keeping our eyes on both of these storms so far for tonight. And the flash flood warning just now was issued for parts there of Bosque County and Hill County. So this is the main area of concern. Bosque and Hill, that tornado warning, which will expire at 7 o'clock. And then also for the north sides of Bosque County, then into Hill County, we are seeing that flash flood warning just now issued. So you kind of see that brighter green box, a lot of them on top of each other. So there's a flash flood warning until 10 o'clock tonight for Hill County, also for parts of Bosque County. So that's the other story with these storms. And there's an aerial flood advisory. There's a lot of rain just in general that's been happening. So many advisories that are coming out. So please just keep that in mind. If you're north of 20 in parts of the Metroplex, there's just some rain that's continuing to fall. Nothing severe, but the severe threat will continue at least through parts now of Bosque County and Hill County. Other than that, not a whole lot happening. I want to let you know in about a minute we're going to be done with our coverage here on CBS News Texas, but you can continue our coverage on CBSTexas.com. Next up is Survivor. You're not going to miss any of that as we've been simulcasting also on our sister station, KTXA 21, making sure that you're able to get your latest programming if we had to interrupt here on CBS News Texas. And the reason we do it, we alert you to the fact of strong to possibly severe storms so you and your family are aware, you and your family remain safe and prepared. So this is what we're watching as far as the severe thunderstorm warnings are concerned now for, again, Bosque County, Hill County. You can see another one just now issued as it's going to be turning a little further down towards the south and the east. So we alerted you to the fact a few days ago of the potential of strong to possibly severe storms today. The rain across parts of the Metroplex in North Texas helped us out. Now the severe storms continue down towards the south. We'll head you back to Survivor here on CBS News Texas, but our coverage continues on CBSTexas.com.